Hey guys, welcome to Tasty Kitchen. I am Taya and I'm here to show you a very fabulous recipe. What's new? Barbecue season is coming up and of course we know our classics, hot dogs, hamburgers, grilled chicken, but we're going to be making Greek kebabs and we're going to be serving it with garlic naan, which you can do straight on the Barbie. And I'm going to show you how to make the naan right now. So first things first, we want to activate the yeast. So we have a 1/4 cup of warm water, 2 teaspoons of yeast. We're going to put it in the water. And we're also going to add a tablespoon of sugar. And we're going to wait about 10 minutes until the yeast is activated. While we're waiting for our yeast to start activating, we have 4 cups of all-purpose flour here. And we're going to mix in 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Oh, and a pinch of salt. It's nice and incorporated. We are going to add our yeast mixture into the dry. 3/4 cups of yogurt. We're using Greek yogurt. Do it up because it's Greek kebab, so we should use Greek yogurt. And 3/4 cups of milk that is warm. And we're going to mix it up until it forms a dough. Okay, so we're going to knead our dough. Start off, if you will, with reserving about 1/2 cup of flour out and gradually adding it if you need it. So once we knead this dough, it should be a nice smooth ball. You can also use a stand mixer if you don't want to use your hands. And then we're going to grease our bowl and let it rest for about an hour or until it doubles in size. And we're placing it into a greased bowl and we're going to cover it with saran wrap. And we are going to let this rest for about an hour. Okay, ideally you probably want to marinate your meat for a longer period of time, especially because we're trying to save money, and saving money sometimes means buying a piece of meat that's less expensive, which usually means it's less tender, but still has a lot of flavor. So we opted to make 2 versions of our kebabs, Greek kebabs. So we have sirloin steak, and we also got some chicken breast, and we've diced them up into 1-inch cubes, and we've got them in separate containers. And so we're gonna make the marinade. So what we have here is about 3/4 cups of vegetable oil. We have some soy sauce, which is totally not Greek, but it tastes good in marinade. I put it in all my marinades. We've got some Dijon mustard, which is also not Greek, but I don't care, it tastes good. We have some garlic powder. We've got, I'd say about 1/4 cup of lemon juice. We have 4 cloves of minced garlic. We have a bunch of chopped up parsley. It doesn't have to be perfect. Woo. Mix this up. Let me set this to the side. And before we add the marinade, we are going to season our meat. Make sure you keep your meats, especially dealing with chicken, in a separate container. We do not want cross-contamination. And we are going to season generously with some salt, pepper, and we've got some Greek seasoning spices. And we are just gonna mix this up. So now we're gonna pour our marinade over top, divide it equally. And we're just gonna mix it up, put the lid on it, and place it in the fridge for about an hour. But honestly, you can make these ahead or overnight, and the more you marinate it, the more flavorful and tender the meat's gonna be. So do it as long as you marinate it as long as you want, but we have an hour. So while our meat is marinating and our bread is rising, we have vegetables. So I have chopped up our peppers into little kind of 1-inch squares. They don't have to be perfect. And I've also done the same with a red onion. We're gonna put it all into a bowl and we're gonna drizzle it with some vegetable oil and we're gonna lightly coat it. Okay, and then we're also going to add some Greek seasoning to our vegetables. Kebabs are a really good way to make your meat last longer. Last longer? Go further. Okay, so our dough has risen. We've punched it down, and now we are going to divide it into about 10 balls. So I personally like to weigh it and then divide the weight by 10, but you can just wing it or eyeball it if you want. And then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so we got our stove preheated. Now you can do this on the barbecue with a cast iron skillet, but we're just showing you how to do it so it's easier to do it here. So we have a cast iron skillet. We've got medium heat, and now we take one of our dough balls and we're gonna roll it out quite thin, and it doesn't have to be a perfect shape, but you do kind of want it to be longer, like an oval. And then once this is quite thin, I'd say like a quarter of an inch, we are going to place some vegetable oil into the pan, and we are going to cook one by one. Once this heats up, feels like it is, got some oil in the pan. The first one's, it's kind of like a pancake, you know, the first one's kind of like the feeler. And you're going to cook it for about 1 to 2 minutes per side. These lovely bubbles here is what you're looking for. If you have too thick of a dough, it's not gonna bubble up like that. Meanwhile, while that one is starting to cook, you can start on your next, what is it called? You start on the next one. Okay, I'm gonna give this a quick check. Okay, flip. And on to the next one. We're gonna continue doing this until they're all done. And then once they're finished on the cooking on both sides, we put it on a plate with paper towel to just get rid of any excess oil. We're good to go. We finished our naan. It is completed, we have lots. And it's skewer time now. So we're gonna start skewering, pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna take our marinated meat and we're gonna alternate it between meat and veg, however you please, as much meat as you want, as much veg as you want. And we're gonna continue on this meat stacking journey until these are all done. Strongly suggest if you're doing 2 meats, start with 1 meat, leave your chicken for last, mainly because your hands are gonna be in the chicken, and if you're grabbing veggies, then you've got raw chicken on the veggies, and it's better if you just start with 1, end with chicken. The end. We'll continue on this until they're done. Okay, so our lovely skewers are ready to go, and now we just gotta barbecue them. We'll be ready to go. Okay, so we finished barbecuing our kebabs. Can you believe how many it makes? That's just with 1 steak and 3 chicken breasts. So we're gonna take one of our naan breads and we are going to serve it up. I'm gonna go with steak first. And the way I like to do it is just pop on my kebab fillings into the naan. Oh my God, this is so difficult. It's like a naan burrito. You can do it whatever way. You can eat it and then have the naan on the side. But the way I like to do it is throwing it all into 1 naan and then placing some tzatziki, which we just made, fresh tzatziki, in the middle. And then I kind of wrap it up and take a bite. That is delicious. So much food here. The naan, obviously, if you can make it homemade, spot on. But obviously, if you need to save time, you can always buy some. This is a wonderful way to do a barbecue. It's a great change up from the usual. Tons of food here. You make your meat stretch through, You make your meat, I can't even remember. I should just not talk anymore. I should just eat. This is my Greek kebabs with homemade naan. Perfect on the barbecue. Switch it up this summer. Do something fun. Thanks for watching, guys. This steak is, I'm like a food monster.
Thanks, babe.
Oh, sorry. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.